More than 70% of the Earth's surface is covered in water, yet lack of access to clean water is one of the most pressing challenges of our time. Poor water quality affects societies in the form of waterborne diseases, to poor crop growth, which impacts food security and infant mortality. In some countries, lack of sanitation infrastructure, water treatment facilities lead to issues like open defecation, which by some statistics unfortunately is still practiced worldwide by almost 1 billion people rather than using a toilet. The pollution stemming from open defecation only gets further compounded from natural disasters and recurring floods. In the sub-Saharan Africa, a large percent of population lacks safe drinking water. More than 25% of the population has to walk 30 minutes or more to collect water, a burden that unfortunately falls on women and girls the vast majority of the time. This trend of women tasked with the responsibility of water collection spans many developing nations and takes critical quality time away from income generation, childcare, and women education and empowerment. Even in the United States and many nations in Europe, where we have advanced water and wastewater treatment facilities, expansive networks of pipes and pipelines that supply quality water to cities and rural areas, poor system maintenance, infrastructure failures, natural disasters reveal the very serious effects of poor water quality, even if it is for a short term, in even developed nations. In a recent example, drinking water in Flint, Michigan was inadequately treated dating back to 2014, and residents basically bathed and cooked and drank water with toxic lead levels in it. One of the most troubling aspects of the global water crisis is that those who are the least able to afford the access to water also are the ones who have to pay a disproportionately high percent of their income for access to water. For Flint residents, for example, using bottled water and paying high water utility rates to the poor in South Africa waiting in line for their allocation of water, inequity is everywhere, unfortunately. In Mozambique, for example, families rely on black market vendors. They would spend up to 100 times as much on water as those reached by government subsidized water supplies. Now, while all these challenges do exist and we recognize them, luckily, global organizations are committed to addressing the water quality crisis. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development from the United Nations tackles water inequality within one of its 17 priority sustainable development goals to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Water is not a developing world problem. It's an everyone, everywhere problem. And it's one of the most pressing issues of our times. So let's continue to collaborate on innovation around this precious resource, since it is only one water as we know it, for only one world.